the preview discussion that's going on right now, I get that. I understand the concern. I think this is a very isolated incident. 99% of the previews we see are at least honestly depicting, to a good extent, what the final experience is aiming for.
Mm-hmm.
As much as fun as it is to call Gearbox liars for this, I would honestly like to believe that in their hearts they thought that this was attainable. They thought that what they were showing at that E3 demo was in good faith what they were going to be delivering on in the end. It's not what happened, and they could probably stand to fess up to that a little bit more clearly.
And that's where they went wrong.
Well, that's the problem, yeah. I'm sure, I've said this before, I've written about it on Destructoid, it doesn't even matter at this point whether the things coming out of Randy Pitchford's or anybody else's mouth were true at the time they were being said. When it gets to the point where the Colonial Marines official website still has trailers made up of footage from that demo, and they were having a big launch party for Colonial Marines on the Friday night before the game launched, and all of that hype, all of that bluster was built off of this preview stuff, which by that point they had to have known was false. I refuse to believe Randy Pitchford bought Colonial Marines on Tuesday morning and said, "This isn't our game. What? What happened here?"
Someone snuck in.
It becomes fair to say there's some deception involved, and by all accounts is still going on because the official sales pitch for that game is using stuff that isn't in the game. And it goes beyond just bullshots and whatnot. I mean, they were showing us images of the Alien Queen fighting the power loader late enough to the point where it had to have been obvious to everyone working on the game that wasn't in there. So that's an issue, I think, and that's where I think the deception comes in. They may have been truthful at each isolated time they were talking, but now it's too late to just say, well, we didn't know anything, we couldn't be held responsible at all.
Cool, we talked about it. Go us. We were like, we don't want to talk about this. And
well, all I'll
immediately
say,
went ahead and did it.
to cap this off, all I'll say is I feel bad for whatever their next game's going to be, because no one's going to, hopefully no one's going to want to believe what they're talking about it.
I can forgive a bad game. It's got to have something. Give me something. Borderlands has problems, definitely. There are many criticisms I can have for it, but it's given me something to go on, and obviously that was the problem with this last one, was just it was so not a finished game. But yeah, we said we didn't want to talk about it. And I don't, because I've been posting about the thing constantly for a week now, and it's not fun to do. It honestly isn't fun, but the stuff just won't stop, and I am still quite angry about it. But it's not an enjoying and enjoyable anger. It's just a kind of sad, sorry, whiskey drinking, cold rage. Nvidia's launching their big GeForce GTX Titan. They're not their Titan now.
We are beyond Greek gods, like
Oh, yeah.
Olympus shudders.
They're going to run out of mythical creatures to call things eventually.
Did they think, I don't know what their plan's like, but I don't know if they thought it through all the way.
Razor's already run out of snakes. They're already just pulling things out of the air. Just blade. Razor blade. Fuck it. But this is the Titan, and it's pretty good. They had Origin PC, not Origin EA, Origin PC, put together this ridiculous computer to run Crysis 3 at full spec and 60 frames per second, all that, and it does the job. Does the job pretty well. Because of some hardware problems with shipping, I haven't had time or really opportunity to go as in-depth with everything as I'd like. But on Destructoid right now, there is a... I forget what I've even called the bloody thing. Something like running Crysis 3 on the GeForce GTX Titan, where I talk about how it works damn well. Did some video footage, not the best footage. I'm still experimenting with trying to get some proper nice HD gameplay footage up for the lovely Destructoid viewers. But you get a good idea. It's beautiful stuff, and Crysis 3 looks gorgeous on it. It's very much not the kind of situation we had with Crysis 2. This one is built to show off what a high-end gaming PC can do, to the point where after I had the hardware problems and couldn't play Crysis 3 on PC for the actual software review, had to go back and do the 361 and was disgusted. I felt like throwing up. It was so ugly to me, and it actually looks good on the Xbox 360, but to me, it was like rubbing ash in my eyes.
It sounds like you're exaggerating, but you're almost not, because there is this huge divide with these multi-platform games that actually make use of PCs that are high-end. It is basically we're at next gen right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
No doubt about it.
But of course, it's costly if you want to get up into the proper ostentatious showing off your, kind of prowess in the PC department.
Your rampeen.
Yes. I was trying to think of something classier to say than that, but couldn't, so just stuck until someone else said the word peen. It's the inevitable word that comes up. But obviously it's expensive stuff. I mean, one of the Titans alone is $999.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's a computer you could be buying.
And we all laughed at Sony with the PS3 back in the day, but obviously they certainly don't shortchange you on the size. I mean, this is one of them here.
That is monstrous.
That's, pretty... It's the business. And they're talking about getting these into smaller ones. Obviously, I've got one with 3 of them in SLI, just to get the absolute max on it, just because I thought Destructoid readers don't care much for subtlety. So when I was given the choice of the smaller, humble one and just the fuck off, slap in the face, stupid one, I thought, well, the Destructoid viewers and readers will appreciate the stupidity. Because I certainly do. I'm not a big hardware guy, as I confessed in the write-up. I'm all about the software. That's my job. That's what I do. So I want a sledgehammer to the face. That's how I'm impressed.
See, the sledgehammer to the face thing, while impressive, always scares me, because as much as I, in my heart of hearts, want desperately not to think that graphics matter, and not to care about lighting effects and particle effects and so forth, when there is that huge jump, and it is so apparent what one is capable of and what the other is capable of, going back to a console is just, you're like, oh, why did I do this to myself?
That's exactly what happened with the with the 360 when I had to go and review Crysis 3 on it. I'm all about reviews being subjective, but there does come a point when you have to not be, totally objective, but at least say, well, I've got to remember this is by the 360 standards, which is very impressive. But I've just seen God's penis.
I was going through my email the other day, and I found a transaction receipt for an automatic payment for DC Universe Online. I don't play it, really. I did at launch. I covered it for Destructoid a bit at launch, and so I had a copy that they had sent me for that purpose, and I'd said, please don't auto-renew this. I clicked the little box in the setup, and I guess that was insufficient. So I think they've been charging me for this for 2 years now, which is, I'm not thrilled about, but that is what it is. And so I contacted customer support today to say, hey, we need to, can I get a refund on this? And their policies are, it's on a case-by-case basis, and then they wanted to refund to my PlayStation wallet, which, not the same thing as having actual money. I don't know if Sony's aware of that, but that's not really the same.
They know no other currency.
Clearly, yeah, clearly.
Jack Tretton tries to buy his McDonald's with a PlayStation Network card.
They're going to see if they can do it, and it's been elevated to a tier, and they're going to figure it out. And I'm sure that they'll take care of me in the end, and everything will be fine. I'm not like trying to make a big stink out of it, but it's frustrating, and but here's the funny bit. Here's the really funny bit about this. Today, FedEx arrives with a package, just like 10 minutes before broadcast. And inside is a DC Universe Online doormat. A doormat!
I thought it was a towel or a blanket or
Fucker
something.
sent me a doormat! Could it be any more ironic? The thing about this is that I find really frustrating is that I haven't logged into the game in nearly 2 years. Like, I know this for a fact. If I went to try and update it on my PS3, it would explode from the update. Like, it would just self-immolate. Be like, oh, fuck this, I'm done, not doing it. That's how bad it is. But why is it that they allowed me to just idly pay for this for 2 years without ever using it? At what point should they say, hey, you know, you're not using this as a customer service measure? And the reason I think that this is valuable is not simply on the basis of, you know, I'm personally getting screwed out of money or other people are personally getting screwed out of money. Every time someone gets charged for something that they didn't want or didn't mean to have, it casts a negative reflection. Meanwhile, if they reached out to people who, say, hadn't logged in for 6 months, they get opportunities to market new materials to them, additional download content they might not have otherwise had. They could remind the person that, hey, you paid for this, you should come and play it, and maybe they will, and then find other ways to spend money. Or you're removing the risk that they're going to get pissed off at you. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me that the system can't be set up that they red flag accounts that are completely inactive for an extended length of time to say, hey, come on back. Come on back. We noticed you haven't been playing. Come visit us. Be our friend.
I wonder how many MMO, especially older MMOs, because some of those, I think EverQuest is still running, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of those are actually players who, for the ones that charge per month, I wonder how many of those are actually active players. And
versus
if they're just
people who have just
like
it
forgot
idle.
it's on, like what happened here.
Yeah, that could be. Well, and I didn't keep. I want to be clear.
Yeah,
I didn't forget
sure,
it wasn't on. And did you know that that the PlayStation 3 actually has a root level, like, do not charge my credit card automatically setting?
I did not.
I didn't either. Something to be aware of if you have your credit card PlayStation, because you're an idiot like me. You can at least get them to stop taking money without telling you.
I did also spray paint my social security number on Kazurai's bedroom ceiling, so might be in a bit of trouble.